All right, here we go. Hey, everybody, check this out. Boom! Yeah, all right, cool. Thank you so much, Fantasy Flight Games, for sending Cardboard of the Rings this copy of the Fellowship of the Ring repackaged Saga Expansion. This is so cool. So this is the repackaging of the Black Riders and The Road Darkens Saga Expansion that lets you replay all the amazing events that take place in the Fellowship of the Ring novel. And we're going to do an unboxing video here. I'm going to take a look at some of the components. I'm going to give a very high level, an eagle height, if you will, level of the quests that you will play. I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible because I know a lot of people, myself included, like to go into quests blind. And it's also fun to look at the player cards for the first time. So what I'm going to do on this video is just do an unboxing, talk about some of the stuff within the box, and then I'm going to do another video where I do a deeper dive, look at the player cards, give you some advice on the quests, and that one is going to be a little more spoilery. So if you don't want to be spoiled that video, I would suggest you skip it. And then I'm going to do a third video to round out this little mini series by playing one of the quests using cards that came in this expansion. And everybody in the Cardboard of the Rings crew already has all of the cards and quests that came in this box when it originally came out. So we're going to be giving this copy away. So thank you FFG for sending it to us. And then one lucky viewer of this video will get this copy sent to them. All you have to do is keep watching the video and I will be asking a question and you'll just comment below and we'll pick a random winner. All right, so let's take a look at this box. It's a big box. And when it arrived at my house, it was in a box that could have held 3 of them. So I was like, what in the world is this? But yeah, this is really big. I'm trying to compare it to something. If you have the original core set, I don't have a copy of the new released one, but it's pretty close in size to the original box that you got when you bought the core set. The core set is a little wider, but this Fellowship of the Ring box is actually a little deeper, just barely. So it is deep enough to definitely hold cards that are horizontal. Now what I'm really curious is there an insert? I really hope there is, because I think if there's an insert in this box, you should be able to put every single card from the Saga expansions into this one box, which is a really pretty box. Speaking of pretty, man, look at that art. So here's the back of the box. Looks great. I'm on it. Oh, wait, no, that's a reflection. Okay, cool. Oh, and look at this. The bottom right corner shows you the 2 original products that got combined into this one. All right, let's open this sucker up. If you've been following Cardboard of the Rings, you know that I've been doing a single core progression series where I played all the quests except the sagas. I skipped them because I wanted to do a campaign, and then this product got announced, which is great because I know a lot of new players to the game really want to play these saga quests, and I have everything. I have every single quest, I have every single nightmare pack, every single POD, and within this box is my favorite quest in the entire game. It's a quest that I think is perfect for new players, teaching people a game, so I'm really glad this came out. This cardboard's nice. It's not flimsy cardboard. It's good cardboard. All right. Oh, I think I see an insert. All right, excellent. So here's the rule book. We'll take a peek at that. But yeah, all right, an insert. This is great. I think you can put every single card in here at a quick glance. So they're going to be coming out with the 2 towers and then, of course, the Return of the King. And I think they'll all fit in this one box. So here's how I store my cards. So I have the original boxes, you know, these small ones, and I actually had to do some arts and crafts and double the depth. So I cut the bottom out of a box and slid the top on. So you can see there I doubled the depth of these boxes so I could actually put cards in it. And this represents all the quests that came in this Saga expansion and the 2 PODs. If you can get your hands on these 2 PODs, the Old Forests and Fog on the Barrow Downs, they actually fit right in with the Saga. And then you play them between the first and second quests. But yeah, so you can see these fit in here really well. They line up, and especially with those 2 smaller slots at the front, you can definitely fit every single encounter card, the boons and burdens, the fellowship cards. Yeah, they will all fit in one box. So if storage space is an issue, this one box should hold the entire campaign. So that's excellent. Thank you, FFG, for putting inserts in boxes and making your boxes big enough to actually hold the cards. It's super useful. All right, cool. So let's take a look at the rule book. Alrighty. So this is pretty cool. We got that new expansion symbol, some amazing art. And then this looks like the same rules that I remember from the Black Riders. So this is combining, if I haven't said, the Black Riders and the Road Darkens and the 3 quests contained within each. Yep, this rulebook looks very familiar. Man, I mean, holy cow, epic. Absolutely epic. My favorite art of the game right there. Absolutely great. And, oh, what have we here? Suggested deck lists. All right, excellent. This is really good. Hey, what about me? You speak when spoken to. But this is great. Okay, so we have some suggested deck lists here. So what I'm going to do is I will recreate these in RingsDB so people can see these deck lists, and I'll copy the text down so you have that at your fingertips. So that will be in the description. And here is the Saga campaign log that goes from start to finish all the way to Mount Doom. So that's nice. So I'm assuming this will be available to download from the site. All right, here's all the people we have to thank for doing this. Caleb Grace, prominently featured on here. Playtesters, thank you, playtesters. All right, cool. Yeah, I like seeing that, but man, I really am glad they're doing these suggested deck list things. That is really nice to do. All right, let's take a look at some cards. So what I'm going to do is we will go through the heroes, but I am going to not go through the player cards in this video in case you don't want to see what those are. And then I'm going to do a very high level explanation of the quests that you're going to be playing. All right, let's open up these hero cards. Okay, here are the heroes, and right away you should notice there are 2 copies of Frodo, and he is a new sphere. This is the Fellowship Sphere. And I want to say right off the bat that when you're playing a quest that requires you to use a version of Fellowship Frodo, you can choose either one. You can interchange them as you go from one quest to the next. You don't have to get locked into one, and there's no specific Frodo you have to use. Later on, you're going to get Fellowship Aragorns, and those are specific to the quests that he needs to play. You can't interchange Aragorns at your will, but Frodo you can. Okay, so let's take a look. Fellowship Frodo, this is the Black Riders Frodo. He's 0 threat, 2/1/2/2, Hobbit, Ring Bearer, and then response. Spend 1 Fellowship resource and exhaust the 1 ring to cancel an encounter card that was just revealed from the encounter deck. Then shuffle that card back into the encounter deck and reveal it again, most likely. But it is great. It is on-demand card cancellation, and he cancels the whole card. So if that card said Surge, Doomed, you cancel the whole thing. It's like you didn't even reveal it. You shuffle it back into the deck, and then you reveal another card. So that is really good. Up next, we have the Frodo that came with the Road Darkens. So again, 0 threat, 2/1/2/2, Hobbit, Ringbearer. Response. After Frodo Baggins exhausts to defend an attack, exhaust the 1 ring and spend 1 Fellowship resource to target the attacking enemy. Then this attack deals no damage and each player raises their threat by 2. Great panic button. Great way to avoid a attack coming at you that you weren't ready for. And raising your threat to avoid a hero dying is really good. So you got to make sure you keep a resource on him, and he has to actually defend the attack. It can't be undefended. Let's take a look at Sam. Frodo would not have made it very far without Sam. So one of the best heroes in the game. So we have Sam Gamgee. He is an 8 threat leadership hero, 3 willpower, 1/1/3, Hobbit. Response. After you engage an enemy with an engagement cost higher than your threat, ready Sam Gamgee, he gets +1 willpower, attack, and defense until the end of the round. So you send him on the quest for 3 willpower, and then an enemy gets revealed. You can optionally engage that enemy, and that will ready Sam, giving him the defensive boost. And you can guess that there are cards in this set that also help boost his defense. So that is wonderful. It doesn't matter how you engage an enemy, if it's optionally, if it comes in through some sort of card effect. As long as you engage the enemy and it has higher engagement costs than your threat, Sam will get that effect. All right, let's take a look at Mary. So Meriadoc Brandybuck is a 6 threat tactics hero, 2/0/1/2. But Mary, Hobbit, Merry gets +1 attack for each Hobbit hero you control. So he's a base of 1, and then if you're playing with 2 other Hobbit heroes, and then you also have Frodo, he's attacking for 4. And then response, after Merry participates in an attack that destroys an enemy, ready another character that participated in that attack. Absolutely fantastic with ranged. So if you're playing a 2-player game and somebody has ranged and they help Merry kill something, you can ready that ranged character, and that ranged character can help again. Really awesome. Just a super fun hero. And if you also have the Ingmar Awakens repackaged set, you got a copy of Spirit Merry. So now you would have 2 different versions of Merry, and they both are extremely good. So that is very fun. Speaking of very fun, and one of the best splashable heroes in the game, Lore Pippin. All right, Peregrine Took is a 6-threat lore hero, 2 willpower, 1/1/2 Hobbit. Each enemy in play gets +1 engagement cost for each Hobbit hero you control. And then response, after you engage an enemy with an engagement cost higher than your threat, draw 1 card. So you can see how this works. So Pippin's boosting the engagement costs of enemies, and then if you optionally engage them, you're readying Sam. Pippin's drawing you a card, and then if Merry's ready, he can do a lot of damage, especially because there's some other cards in here that help as well. Pippin just goes in any deck, really. If you just need access to lore, Pippin is amazing because his low threat and 2 willpower is really all you need if you're trying to get access to card draw. All right, but let's take a look at the OG himself. Jeez, oh Pete's, it's Gandalf. And boy, talk about sticker shock after seeing these low threat hobbits. 14 threat. 3, 3, 3, 5. Istari. Play with the top card of your deck face up. Once per phase, you may play the top card of your deck as if it were in your hand. When playing a card this way, Gandalf is considered to have the printed leadership, lore, tactics, and spirit icons. So he can play any sphere, except Fellowship, and if you have the Hobbit sagas, the Baggins sphere. But he is amazing. There are cards in here that help you put the correct card that you want on top of your deck. Events work extremely well, obviously, because you can use his ability to put an ally that is off sphere into play in the planning phase, and then if the next card is Feint during the combat phase, you could play that Feint, and you don't even need a tactics hero. So just an absolutely amazing hero. Of course, he has to be. He's Gandalf. I will be explaining some rule interactions with him in the next video. Okay, that's it. All right, no, it's not. Okay, and then way over here, Fatty. So we have Fatty Bulger. He is a 7-threat spirit hero, Hobbit, 1/1/2/3. And then action, exhaust Fatty to choose an enemy in the staging area and raise your threat by that enemy's threat. Until the end of the phase, that enemy does not contribute its threat limit once per round. You might be seeing Fatty and thinking, okay, I don't really get it. Yeah, it's not great, especially in solo, because of course the penalty for not being able to quest for enough is you would raise your threat. So we call him basically a treachery. It's hard to understand how he works. There are corner cases where he has a use, and it's multiplayer actually. So if you imagine a situation where in a 4-player game you are under questing, and so everybody's going to have to raise their threat. What you could do is just you, the player who controls Fatty, you raise your threat. So he's basically questing for the threat of a 4-threat enemy up in staging, let's say. And then maybe that makes it so you no longer are under questing, and so nobody else has to raise their threat. There's perhaps other uses as well. I can't think of them off the top of my head. So if someone in the comments wants to say how Fatty could be useful, go ahead. All right, looking through the deck, I'm looking for the Fellowship cards. So there are some Fellowship cards. These are player cards that have the Fellowship sphere. So the Fellowship hero can play these cards. When you're playing these saga quests, you always have a Fellowship hero in play, and he travels with the first player. So you can play these Fellowship cards, and they're pretty powerful. They're fun, too, and super thematic. So don't forget to include these Fellowship cards in your decks when you're playing these quests. Especially Frodo's Intuition if you're playing just Hobbits. It's insanely powerful, actually. But you got to make sure you're keeping a Fellowship resource on that hero if you want to trigger the ability. All right, let's find the One Ring. It was not in that first pack of cards I looked at. I kind of assumed it would have been with the heroes and the fellowship cards. Okay, it's also not with the cards from the first quest. This is interesting. Okay, is somebody in the deck wearing it so I can't find it? I'm actually concerned that I didn't find it in these first 2 packs because it's needed in the very first quest you play. So it seems like it would have been with that first quest. So let's look at this 3rd pack here. I was going to not open every pack, but it looks like I might have to. Okay, no ring yet. What the heck? There it is. That's odd. Okay, that's a very strange place to put it, but we have it. I wonder if it's because the one ring came in both of the boxes that this is supposed to combine, and since we're only getting 1 ring, they had to repackage it. But yeah, look, it's numbered 166. So I mean that's where they put it. It wasn't just slid into this thing. So if you're looking for the 1 ring, it's card number 166. And it also looks like some of the sets you need for certain quests are spread out amongst all these packs. So you're probably gonna have to open everything as you're playing. Okay, so the 1 ring is an artifact item ring setup. The first player claims the 1 ring and attaches it to the ring bearer. The attached hero does not count against your hero limit. The first player gains control of the attached hero. If the 1 ring leaves play, the players lose the game. So you're going to have a Frodo. Frodo's going to be bouncing around to all the different players in your group, and he's going to have the ring. So the ring itself doesn't do anything. It's Frodo's ability that targets the ring. But I will say, there are cards that get worse if the 1 ring is exhausted, so be careful. All right, there's some iconic characters that I'm sure you're excited to test your decks up against. So let's talk about the quests. I'm going to do an eagle level view of these quests and just kind of talk about where we're going to be going. If you're anything like me, just seeing these iconic locations, characters, events, and knowing you're going to get to play through them is very exciting. So I just want to show you some of the things that you're going to get to do. And this leads me to the giveaway question. Please comment below and a winner will be chosen randomly. What thematic, event, location, character, whatever from the Fellowship of the Ring are you most excited to see on your gaming table when you are playing this expansion? All right, here we go. Your journey begins in the Shire, where the 1 ring has been entrusted to you to keep safe and secret. You feel safe and comfortable at your home in Bag End as you anxiously wait for Gandalf to arrive, but unfortunately, he is delayed. You must get moving because you are being watched. As you head across country, you realize that you are being hunted by Black Riders. And if you're lucky, you can make it to Buckleberry Ferry and escape those that would wish you harm. At the start of the second scenario, you find yourself under the sign of the Prancing Pony, and you do not like the ill looks some of the locals are giving you. You find yourself at the ruined fort of Weathertop, where you are besieged by the Nazgul, including the Witch King. As you start your next scenario, you begin with an evil wound, and you begin to notice that the ring is starting to weigh heavily on you. But you must move fast, because the 9 are abroad, and this quest is definitely a race to the fords of Bruinen. If you can make it there safely, you will rest in Rivendell, where you will experience the Council of Elrond, and you will get some very helpful items to aid you on your journey as the Fellowship sets out across Holland. But watch out! Huge wargs have caught your trail, and the Redhorn Pass is closed to you, so you must make your way to the Mines of Moria, where the Watcher in the Water keeps you from deciphering the clues to enter the doors of Durin. If you can get inside the mines, you will have to face the long dark of Moria. But something lurks in the darkness, shadow, and flame. If some of you are able to escape these horrible mines, you will find yourself in Lorien, where the Lady Galadriel sends you with gifts, and you make your way down the Great River for the final quest. In this quest, you will see many iconic places like the Argonath, but be on your guard. You are being followed. And danger isn't just behind you. It may also be from within. And along the shores prowls the new Uruk-hai, who are tough. And they do not go down easily, but if you do survive this last scenario, you will find yourself ready to take on whatever the next expansion throws at you. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to making the next couple of videos about this newly released expansion. Once again, thank you, FFG, for sending this to us. Good luck to everybody who plays this expansion. Happy questing, and bye-bye.